Peace, everyone. It's Black Eyed Priestess. Man, it's been so long. It's been like probably like a year since I went live and cooked for you all, but I had a really good day today. I had a good morning, afternoon. I sent out some soaps. I sold the rest of my large Black Rose exorcism. So if you haven't seen that, check out my Instagram, Facebook, Etsy, just any of my links. You'll be able to come across that. But I'm just doing some cooking. I don't know. I was really excited, just like making some. It's kind of like roux, what they call it. It's like when you just, but it's not really. It's just some spices, cayenne, red pepper, black pepper, salt, garlic, and shallot. I just cut up some garlic and shallot, and I don't know, this is going to be a really good spaghetti sauce. So I'm just going to put in the tomatoes, the fire roasted tomatoes, and capers, and the shallot, the heat from the shallot is getting in the air and it's making me cough. But it is, I just want to remind you all, like I haven't done, like my dinner scripture uploads and my salmon and scripture uploads. But, talking about herbs, different, cooking things. Peace, crack. So some, shallot and onion, is good for alleviating like cold and sinuses and kind of opening up your sinuses. So if you ever make a hot toddy or even tea, or you want like some type of tonic, you can boil onion. White and yellow onion is good because of the way that it reduces. I just think the flavor ends up being a little sweeter. You can use shallots or, bulb onions too. And like I said, that, the same component in the onion that kind of makes you cry when you're cutting them. It's already clearing my sinuses, making me, kind of cough a little bit. That's just the garlic, and that's the pepper as well, because pepper really gets rid of impurities. In some cases, bacteria, but pepper is good for reducing like inflammation and infections too. So it's good with that, especially combined with lemon. So something that I always do is I always add lemon to not to my sauce, but after I top my pasta and marinara, with cheese or whatever, I put lemon juice on top of it. And so I make my sauce a little thicker because the lemon juice will loosen up the sauce and make it a little more saucier. And I always put like a lot of lemon juice because cayenne and lemon, as well as the onion, sometimes garlic, sometimes not garlic, but I'm just in the mood for garlic now. Cayenne, lemon, onions are good for, getting rid of impurities. Another thing is when you cook, there is different spiritual, metaphysical properties from raw food versus when you cook it. For example, burnt lemons, or, like burning or, really cooking, so to speak, like Cajun style. Cooking, what I'm saying is a Vodun mystery is when you're dealing with flambeau and the fire spirits of Vodun, the petro spirits, the fire spirits, the flambeau of Vodun. You're dealing with the fiery aspect. You're dealing with the spirits and the ancestors that take the heat, that also give off the heat, that are a little bit more aggressive, more passionate, more volatile, more dangerous to deal with, but also obviously more powerful. So and that also is the idea of something being Cajun, something being blackened, something being burnt. That deals with the power of being black, being able to overcome slavery, overcome racism, overcome being burned from the sunlight, for example. the power of being a genetically dominant Black person ties into these spiritual mysteries as well. And that's what my brand is about. Black High Priestess is about helping people overcome the fear of Blackness that American culture and Eurocentric white supremacist culture instills in its citizens and in society. Overcoming white supremacy that media, American, like Hollywood narratives, historical and, globalized American idealism, overcoming that white supremacy that's injected into modern cultures and societies. And as well as the caste system. The caste system meaning the lighter skinned people or the white people of any race. Okay, because you all know that there's Black and there's white people of all races. So the caste system and white supremacy dealing less about racism and more about the white people within a race, a culture, a society being prominent and elevating the recessive genetic. And that ties into, more ancient spiritual mysteries of Black and white and how to unite Black and white, but also how to understand racism and understand colorism and understand energy, because Black is an energy. It's a scientific chemical energy as well. And it deals with weight. It deals with gravity. So, and that deals with the fact that Black is the fastest speed, not light. The fastest speed is darkness, not light, because even light cannot escape a black hole, which means that light is not faster than the speed of darkness. And that these are the things that Black High Priestess, my brand, is about. But without further ado, I'm going to finish making my pasta here. And like I said, I just got a little inspiration to kind of go live and, just talk about some witchcraft mysteries in terms of cooking and African spiritual mysteries about cooking as well. And like I said, when you cook things, the spiritual metaphysical properties have a different effect than when they're raw, so to speak. So again, with cayenne pepper, but when it's heated and it's permeating the air almost like an incense, and you have that level of smoke too. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So, what I'm saying? Smoke is something that the flambeau, the Petro ancestors do a lot. They smoke, what I'm saying? And cooking and creating smoke out of, cayenne, lemon, garlic, shallot, out of these things that already are things that clear negative energy, banish negative energy, and clear away infections and impurities and unclean spirits, but more particularly clear away your enemies. And that's what the Petro Vodun ancestors really can do for you. That's what accessing that root work, the blackest aspects of spirituality, can really do for you, especially as a Black person. Clearing away energy, banishing negativity, which can be a lot more powerful than the law of attraction, which is completely new age. Banishing negative energy, clearing away. The idea of a witches and a broomstick. Well, that originally less about flying, around the sky at night, and more about the power of the broom to sweep away negative energy on a constant basis and to keep your space clean and holy. So again, another thing that my brand is about is dismantling some of the negative stereotypes and the negative ideologies and concepts associated with witchcraft and being a witch and being a Black woman who is mystical. Just dismantling the Hollywood stereotypes, the negative stereotypes, and that fear-based that fear-based power that is associated with witches and with black witches and black magic, as opposed to understanding that it's really the ultimate form of healing. It's the ultimate form of life-giving. Being able to connect with the dead and understand the dead and understand spiritism and spirituality, and being able to combine that and take that understanding, take that balance, take that sacrifice to understand what others fear and apply it to creating life and creating beauty and creating healing. That's really what it's about. Transformation. That's the number one thing of a witch, is to transform. And one of the mysteries of a witch is transforming from the form of human to bird. And the most ancient mystery, the African origins of witch and transformation, starts with being a mermaid. Starts with La Serene, the daughter of Yemaya, so to speak. Associated with Oshun, not quite the same, but associated with Oshun, being a mermaid. Yemaya, meaning her whose children are fish in the Yoruba language. Starting with becoming a mermaid, then becoming a woman, and becoming a bird. Okay, a black bird, a bird of prey, so to speak. And under the House of Oshun, that deals with becoming the phoenix. Okay. It also deals with the transformation of going from a caterpillar to a butterfly, or from a worm to a butterfly or moth. In my case, but we all have our totems. And, in general, it deals with the transformation that a woman goes through from being a woman in your nature, in your physical biology, and then going through society's margins, any particular society's margins for you, and then transforming into your fullest potential as a woman, which is limitless. So that deals with the mysteries of the Virgin Mother and crone, different than the mysteries of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, which is Christian, and which is the standard. But when you're dealing with witchcraft, you're dealing with mysteries, not what's exposed and what's revealed and what's obvious and what's patriarchal or paternal, but you're dealing with the mysteries, which deal with the energy of femininity, the moon, the womb, what is hidden. And women represent the secrecy of life, whereas men represent the obvious and the projection. Okay, hold on. Oh man. Well, I should have my window open a little bit more, but I'm enjoying my sinuses being clear. So another thing that I love, that I absolutely have to have, is capers. So I'm going to go ahead and add my capers to this and recycle. I always recycle, as you all know. Right? Capers. Capers. Now, a couple other things I wanted to do is, it is the season of the witch. It's fall season, so you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of me. I want to talk about some things that I drink at home, not just doing my food and film blog of when I go out. I'm sure a lot of people probably think I'm an alcoholic, but I love to drink a lot of different things. But aside from my blog about fine dining out, some things I drink at home. I love the watermelon Wonder. Kind of reminds me of Wonder Woman too, and that energy of Wonder Woman. But I do love the GTS kombuchas. They're very good, and this is one of my favorite flavors, the watermelon Wonder. They also have good ginger ones, so I'll be having this with my meal. the capers real quick, and I'll show you all something else. So peace, everyone. Peace, crack. Peace, dark skin God. Peace, everyone. Let me know if y'all have any questions. I am going to be doing more complimentary live readings just for promotional purposes, since I'm going to be focused on my brand a lot more this season. So if you all have any questions, let me know. I'll be doing some complimentary live readings too. Probably like once a week, just for maybe like a month, just for promotional purposes, like I said. So I'm just adding capers here. Just scooping them out. I love capers. So I'm gonna put a lot in here. Caper sauce too. I guess that's plenty for now. I kind of want to put the rest in, but the only thing I usually put in is olives, and I don't have any olives at this time. So since I don't actually have any olives, I think I am going to go ahead and just put the rest of the capers in there. There wasn't too many left. That's that. Yeah, I'm sneezing a lot. I'm probably going to have to crack a window in a minute, but it's just clearing the sinuses, I'm just getting away a lot of negative energy. Another thing that I did decorate my windows. Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah. Sorry, my thing. Sorry, kind of stuff splashed around. But I do have these gourds here, and I did decorate my windows. I put some little gourds and mini pumpkins around my windows, so on the outside. So that's another thing that you all can do if you want to bring in harvest, especially for business entrepreneurs and those of you who also have products and services, other witches, mages even, who you have your own line of product services, you have your own business, or you just are crafty and you're an artisan and a craftsman or craftswoman. This is the season to get those gourds. You can do pumpkins, you can do little squash, like I said, gourds. And again, this is an African tradition, because in Africa, and even dating to the biblical times, they talked about the gourd-shaped fruits that would hang from the trees in the Bible, the African trees. And in Africa, they have the big, huge gourd-shaped fruits. But here in America, we have different squash, different, pumpkins, things like that. And putting it around your windows, putting it around your doors, any opening to your home, that will help bring in harvest. Different from prosperity. Harvest is about reaping what you've already sown, not trying to attract something that you haven't necessarily worked for, like an opportunity, or trying to attract a lover, attract friends, even attract money, which will usually come in the form of an opportunity to get money. But harvest is about gathering the fruits of your labor that you've already done. And that's what fall is about, gathering the fruits of the labor that you've started in the spring and produced in the summer. Now it's time to reap the rewards of that. And in winter, what you gather is going to hold you over until springtime, when it's time to replenish and do spring cleaning and start all over. So this is the cycle, the seasons, especially in America, where we have particularly, say, Central America, where the seasons change distinctly, and we have distinct seasons, and it's not an even temperature. May only have a 20-40 degree difference, where places where we have distinct seasons. It's important to understand how to let the seasons work in your favor as an entrepreneur, as a person too, but especially when you're dealing with these things. So putting the pumpkins, doing pumpkin craft, making jack-o'-lanterns, things like that. That's great. But just having them around, putting them in particular places, especially like I said, You want to focus on the doors and the windows. You want to focus on the doors and the windows, because those are where energy come and leave your home. So even, for example, my holy water, I teach people to spray it around the door 7 times or around the window 4 times. 7 is a holy number of the Most High. 4 is another holy number of the Most High. Doors and windows are where energy enters and leaves the home for the most part. And that's where you come and go. That's where you bring in energies from the outside in your main door. And that's where you release energies by opening the window and letting fresh air in and out. So Alafia T. Miller, how you doing? So putting the harvest fruits and vegetables, the pumpkins and the gourds and those things, putting those around your doors and windows will ensure that good things are coming to you, that the best of your harvest you're reaping, and whatever. Sometimes you produce things that are duds, or like a bomb. It could be a dud, something that doesn't explode, something that doesn't pop off. You know what I'm saying? Something that doesn't get lit, something that really doesn't take off or go anywhere. You can't do nothing with that, you know what I'm saying, unless you can. And that's advanced witchcraft, being able to make something out of nothing. That's advanced witchcraft. But aside from that, you want to reap the benefits of what has worked for you. And that's what putting things around your door and your window will do for the harvest. And again, pumpkins and things, it's different. It still deals with the Ashe of Oshun. We're not dealing with like eggplants, so to speak, Yansa quite yet. But pumpkins and things still deal with the Ashe of Oshun, so to speak. That level of witchiness that under that house, and again, that color, dealing with orange, dealing with the yellows and the orange and things like that. But it's not prosperity. It's specifically what you've already worked for you're gonna reap that and benefit from that. And you're gonna keep out anything that is not working or hasn't worked in your favor, so you don't waste any time during the fall picking up things that you can't use during the winter when you need them. All right. I hope all of this is making sense to you all. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? Any particular questions about anything I've said, about any of my products, or about witchcraft in general and African spirituality? Any questions at the moment? Ooh, this looks good. I don't know if I could show you all real quick. So we got capers, garlic, shallot, little olive oil, fire roasted tomatoes, salt, pepper, cayenne. And I'm going to add spinach, and I'm going to add mushroom pasta sauce right now. So. Alrighty. I'm gonna add the pasta sauce first, and then I'll put the spinach in last, because the spinach cooks like really, really quickly. Yeah, peace everyone. Hold on. Hold on. And actually, one thing I did forget is I'm gonna put a sprig of rosemary in there, because I've been on a rosemary kick. And I do reuse things too. This I got from working a wedding where they had rosemary, a little rosemary garnish on each card at each place setting at the table. And I was able to get all the ones that weren't used. So number one thing of being a witch is being able to recycle, being able to reuse things and create something of equal or greater value with it. That's what cooking is, growing food, making crafts, things like that. Waste not, want not. That is the base level foundation principle of being a witch. not wasting time, energy, food, resources, putting it to good use. The difference between being a witch and just a regular person is the value in what you create. There's a spiritual, metaphysical, intangible, uncanny property to something that a witch makes that even he or she may not know where it comes from. That's what being a witch is about. You can feel the difference when a witch does something or makes something or is around versus a regular human versus someone who is not in tune. And sometimes, it doesn't have to mean that person's a witch. They can just be very in tune with the Most High or with their spiritual ancestry. Okay. So I'm going to put a sprig of rosemary in there. I kind of want to put 2 in. A little rosemary kick. Yeah. Definitely need that in there. And mushroom sauce. Oh, vinegar. Yeah, red wine vinegar too. I love red wine vinegar. It goes good. White wine vinegar is good too. More so if you're doing like cream sauces at the base too. You want it to dissipate and not interfere with the cream. But vinegar also gets rid of too much moisture in your sauce. If it's a little too watery, vinegar will as you cook it, vinegar will help steam that out and get rid of excess moisture. So that's another good thing. I personally love vinegar, for other reasons too. Of course, ladies, if some of you all know, vinegar is really good for our feminine health and balancing our hormones and the effect of our hormonal changes as we go through our menstrual cycle. Vinegar will prevent unwanted side effects as you come on your period, including bloating, gas, depression, period bumps. Some of you ladies know in some of our fattier areas in our body, we may get a bump that lets us know, hey, your period's coming. Some places you get a period bump. Vinegar does away with that. It clears away those inner impurities and imbalances. And of course, your diet has a lot to do with that too. But the number one thing that doing vinegar, especially apple cider vinegar, will do, ladies, you won't cramp. And when I say you won't cramp, I'm saying you will bleed in public because you will get no symptoms, no sign to let you know, like, okay, I'm about to come on my period. And you might have accidents in public because you're not going to have those terrible cramps and those bad symptoms. A lot of times those period symptoms come from an unhealthy diet. But I don't know everyone's diet and lifestyle, but one thing I can say is vinegar will work for you ladies. So another thing, I do apple cider vinegar, drinking that every day, like a teaspoon, tablespoon or more in your water, in your tea, in your food, whatever you may eat. Some people do it in like a salad dressing or something, but that will help with you ladies. And so something that I got today that I also want to show you all is this. I actually got 2. I'm not going to lie. I got both of them. All right. Excuse me. Ooh, getting all that stuff out. Okay, so I hope you all can see here. I can't see because I see your guys' like the writing and stuff, but we got cucumber mint and strawberry basil. And these are sparkling apple cider, and these do have vinegar. It says drinking vinegar there. So these I'm gonna try. I haven't tried yet. I'll let you know what I think. I got these here. Actually, I'm gonna try this strawberry and basil one real quick. And it's just like a chill day. I'm just trying to budget myself. Even though I've been making money, making sales, I'm still trying to budget for a little bit. So I'm gonna do a little Voodoo Ranger IPA. You all know what I like. So. Put this back in the fridge for now, though. And let's turn the pasta sauce back on. So it's talking about vinegar and spaghetti mushroom sauce. You all know how to do this. Get the air up to kind of help it just pop. So ladies, if you're having trouble opening jars, it's because you don't know how to do what I just did. So ladies, if you have trouble opening jars, you know, ladies were a little weaker with our upper body strength. Well, we used to be. Some you know, the way things are now, men are feminine and women are masculine. You know, if you're like a real man or a woman, it's like something. It's like they might lock you up for being actually within your same gender. Like we're in a time now where you know what I'm saying, you get reprimanded and sued for not calling somebody who's had a sex change sir or miss or whatever. But if you're a real woman, if you're a real man and you're masculine, you know what I'm saying, God forbid you're black and you actually like the people of your same race and you're not into all this swirling and all this new age stuff, like, you know, forget it. But hit the bottom of it, let the air go, push the air up a little bit to the top of the jar and just like that. So, gonna add the sauce here. I don't know if I do all of it. I don't need all of it. Just enough to let all the reduction season the sauce, mushroom sauce. I'm gonna let that heat up, let the sauce heat. And I save the jar, so whatever little sauce is left I just take whatever sauce is left over, because the way I'm real particular about the way I make my pasta. I make my noodles separate, which I have right here. Okay, I have like some spinach, super green noodles, and I toss them with pesto. So I toss my noodles, instead of just doing it regular olive oil or just tossing with sauce, I like to, if I can, toss them with pesto sauce. That way I don't have to add too much like basil or pesto in my sauce. So I toss my noodles with pesto sauce, and then I put the sauce over it. I just have a particular way I like to do my dishes. So I usually have sauce left over because I don't mix everything up unless it's like certain portion leftovers. So I just put the rest of the sauce and back in the jar, throw it in the fridge. And, you know, some of you all should start thinking about food storage just in case the grid does go down and the government does all types of funky things, or, you know, maybe we get invaded or another country does some stuff like they did when, you know, they were, when James Franco and then made that movie about Kim Jong-il or Kim Jong-il, and then America's internet was messed up for like a month, you know, or at least a week, because, you know, basically China said that they were going to retaliate, and they pretty much did. So what I'm saying is, think about food storage, saving canned foods, canning or jarring your own food in mason jars. If you make homemade pasta or things like this, like I do, or even if you make it from scratch, which is even better, think about canning and jarring it. It's great to sell stuff, but you start putting stuff aside. Some of you all are too busy watching Netflix and watching porn and playing video games where you're not really preparing for your future. You don't know what's going on politically. You don't know what's going on around the world and how it may affect you as an American. So get your head out of your ass a little bit. Turn off the TV, turn on, your brain. Try reading something, try talking to regular humans. Talk to people who are at least 20 years older than you, so you can get a better perspective and learn things from a different perspective. A lot of things people are being taught in school now is propaganda, and it's about keeping people under control. It's not teaching real history. You got fools like Kanye West saying slavery was a choice, this and this and that, and making philosophical ideologies and modernity a part of history. You know, this is the problem with New Age. So get your head out of your ass a little bit. Learn to eat healthy, learn to think healthy, learn to be healthy, learn a little bit about holistic health. And, contact me if you need any products or services, if you have any questions, or if there's a particular subject about witchcraft or voodoo or spirituality that you all want me to do an upload on. All right, season of the witch. Peace and love.